Hello everyone, welcome to Eureka Math by Peter. On this whiteboard, these are the two most common things you'll see in Eureka Math problems. A rectangle with two or more dividers and a place value chart. You may have heard of these in kindergarten to first grade when people were using them for basic addition and basic subtraction. Well, Eureka Math uses those concepts in higher grades so people can understand them better. The first thing I talked about, the rectangle with divided into two or more lines, is called an area model. Area model isn't that common sort of thing that you would see in first grade a place value chart is. An area model is in third grade used for multiplication. It can sometimes be used for division, sometimes can be handy in multiplication, but it is a fairly nice design. So how it works is, so let's say you have 20 times, let's see, 15. No, 2 times 15. Okay, let's say you have 2 times 15. So you would put 2 to the left, or the beginning of the area model. And you would separate 15, since it has 2 digits, 1 for each square, so 10 and 5. You break it up by place values, 10 and a 5. So what you do is 2 times 10, and you put it in the middle box of which that grids. So that would be 20. And then 2 times 5, which equals 10. And then what you do 2 little lines here, you arrow it, and it becomes an addition problem. 20 plus 10 equals 30. So let's do this in a regular manner. So 15 over 2. 2 times 5 equals 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 2 times 1 equals 2, plus the 1 carried over equals 3. So 30 with standard algorithm, which is what Eureka Math calls a regular math problem, and the same answer with an area model. Next thing I talked about was the place value chart. Place value chart is what you'd find in first grade for simple addition and simple subtraction. But for this, Eureka Math applies it for third grade multiplication problems. Like this place value chart has O for ones, T for tens, H for hundreds, TH for thousands. So it goes from 1 to 1,000. So let's do 2 times 15 on a place value chart. On an area model, we got 30. On standard algorithm, we got 30. Let's see how to make 30 on a place value chart. So, since we all know 2, if you multiply something by 2, it's the same thing as doubling. So under the ones, you write the 5 because it's in the 1 place value. So you draw 5 dots. And then you draw 5 more dots right by it because you're doubling it. And you keep on doing it. If it was like times 3, you'd do another set of dots. So you do the row of dots based on the number you multiply it by. So based on that, how many lines of 5s or whatever you have. So then for 10, you have 1 dot under 10, and you double it. So you put another. So 2 dots under 10, which equals 20, and 10 dots under 1. But you can't have 10 dots under 1 because 10 ones equals 10. So here's what you do. You circle or square it. It really doesn't matter. Then you draw an arrow to the next place value. So the 1s to the 10s, and you put 1 because there are 10. And 10 ones equals 110. So you end up with 3 10s, 0 1s. You end up with 30. So that is how you get your answer on a place value chart. When I was in 3rd grade, the place value chart drove me insane because it takes so long. For like, if you do want a place value chart, 4 times 15, that's annoying. If you do an even higher number, like 10 times 15, repeat 5 dots 10 times. So 5 times 10, 50 dots in the one place. And then 10 times 10, so you do 10 ones. 10 times 1 equals 10. Which I know, this is probably wrong, but it's 10 times 10, so 100. So you end up with 150. And I kind of did that like an area model would. Slide this up. So 10 times 15. Let's do that on an area model. Area model, since it is a 2-digit number, 2 squares. You put 10 right here. 10 for the 1 in the 15, which is in the tens place, and the 5 for the 5 in the ones place. So 10 times 10. 10 times 10, we all know, equals 100. No argument about that. And then 10 times 5 equals 50. So it is basically, like doing the same thing as this. It's just 2 parts of multiplication, broken down. So you add 100 plus 50, and you get 150. Okay, this is kind of similar to an area model, but it's more standardish with a standard algorithm, which is a regular math equation. So let's have our last problem, 10 times 15. Now a partial product, you'd line it up just like you do regularly. 10 times 15. X that out. No, let's erase it. Okay, 10 times 15. But what you do it differently. So you take the bottom number, the 0 is in the place value 1, and you just multiply only that by 15, and you get 0. You multiply 10 by 5, you get 50. And then you multiply 10 by 10, you get 100. This is called partial product. It is used in 3rd grade for multiplication. So you get the same answer, 150. So there right now are about 4 ways to create the answer of 15 times 10. Partial product, standard algorithm, area model, and place value chart.